David Andrews, what do you recall of the atmosphere at the beginning of this intensive period?
I have a very clear recollection of it. We were all exhausted. You can imagine the speed at which the talks took up, the Tuesday, the Wednesday, the Thursday, and as the Taoiseach has said, the talks were meant to conclude by Thursday. And others have said George Mitchell's brainwave, a thing called a deadline, was put into place. But I remember Friday morning, the Friday morning of the.
Let me take you back a little earlier than that, the beginning of the week. I mean, what were your feelings? What was the mood in the place?
Well, the mood was sort of gloomy, but hopeful. I know that's sort of like an oxymoron. It's not intended to be, but it was hopeful for the week. But things weren't going very, very well. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, people exhausted on Friday morning. People very, very irritated. I met Tony Blair, I think, about 1 o'clock on the Friday morning, and he was looking for Mo Mowlam at the time, and I said I didn't know where he was, where she was Prime Minister. He says, why don't you? That sort of irritability.
All right, so we're in here, General, and you know, there's a mood of gloomy hopefulness, but the sides at this time are remarkably far apart, aren't they?
Indeed, I think the same morning at 2 o'clock, George turned to Harry Hooker and me in our office and said, what do you think the chances of this going through are? And I said, I think about 25%, and I recall George saying, I think you're being optimistic. And yet 4 hours later, we had the agreement. I, of course, was not involved in the details of that with George and was the party leaders. But I was a part of the enormous sense of relief, despite the fact that I was chairman of an organisation that had been in existence for a year and we hadn't produced a single arm at that stage. Yeah. The fact that the parties agreed to go ahead with the agreement in the absence of that and on the understanding that the point would be addressed, I think was, for me and my colleagues, was extremely important.
Yeah.